You keep asking yourself the same question. Why is my dog doing this? I am a dog mom, former vet tech, dog trainer, and canine nutritionist who works with overwhelmed dog parents who deeply love their dog but feel stuck, burned out, or unsure what their dog actually needs. And today we're talking about something that confuses a lot of people: the difference between fear, frustration, and reactivity, and how not understanding the difference often leads to guilt, self blame, and trying the wrong kind of support. In this conversation, you'll discover 3 pieces of clarity that can support you when your dog's behavior feels confusing or unpredictable. Like how fear, frustration, and reactivity can look similar but feel very different to the dog, why misreading the emotion often leads to more stress for everyone, and what can begin to shift when you start responding to the feeling underneath the behavior instead of the behavior itself. A lot of dog parents end up here because they're trying to make sense of something that feels chaotic. Your dog barks, or lunges, or freezes, or growls, or won't settle, and everyone around you has an opinion. He's being dominant. She's being stubborn. He needs more training. She just needs to get used to it. But the truth is, those reactions come from very different emotional places inside the dog. And when we don't understand that, we end up responding in ways that accidentally make things harder. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Fear often looks like your dog is trying to get space, backing away, hiding, shaking, freezing, barking because something feels unsafe. It's not drama, it's discomfort. Frustration often looks like your dog really wants something and can't get it. Like a dog they want to meet, a squirrel they want to chase, a person they want to get to. So the behavior becomes pulling, barking, whining, lunging, not because they're scared, but because they're stuck. And then there's reactivity, which is often what we call the behavior on the outside, but it can be fueled by either fear or frustration underneath. That's where things get a little confusing. 2 dogs can look identical on the outside, barking, lunging, intense, but emotionally, they can be in completely different places. And when we treat those dogs the same way, things don't usually improve. That's often where the self-doubt begins. You start thinking, why isn't this working? Why does all the advice feel wrong for my dog? Why do I feel like I'm constantly guessing? It's not because you're failing. It's often because you've never been shown how to understand what's driving the behavior in the first place. A lot of dog parents come to this realization slowly. They try doing more exposure because they're told their dog is fearful, but their dog actually gets more intense. Or they try calming everything down because they're told their dog is anxious, but their dog actually becomes more restless. And eventually they land in this painful place of thinking, nothing works for my dog. Nothing needs fixing in that moment, just listening. What usually shifts things isn't discovering some perfect technique, it's realizing my dog isn't bad, my dog isn't being dramatic, my dog isn't trying to control anything. My dog is having a feeling, and that feeling is showing up in behavior. When we start asking, is this fear? Is this frustration? Or is this overwhelm? Is this a dog who needs space or a dog who needs support with big feelings? That's often where clarity begins. Because underneath so many confusing behaviors is the same quiet ask. Please stop guessing who I am. Please start noticing how I feel. Here's the question I want to leave you with. What might change if you stopped labeling your dog as difficult and started getting curious about what they're actually feeling? If your dog's behavior has ever left you feeling confused, embarrassed, or unsure what to do next, that makes 2 of us. A lot of dog parents are trying to follow advice without ever being given the emotional context behind their dog's behavior. A lot of people feel guilt because they think they should know better by now. A lot of people feel conflicted because they love their dog, but they don't feel confident in understanding them. What I hope you heard today is that fear, frustration, and reactivity are not character flaws. They're emotional experiences. And when we start responding to the emotion instead of just reacting to the behavior, things often begin to shift. You're not behind. You're not failing, you're learning your dog. So be kind, spread joy, and remember, understanding your dog's feelings is often the most powerful support you can offer. Thank you for listening to The Dog Who Asked for More. If your dog feels restless, wired, or overwhelmed, no matter how much you walk them, it can start to feel like nothing is ever enough. And that is exhausting. Most dogs don't need more exercise. They need the right kind of enrichment to support their brains and nervous system. That's why I created a free enrichment resource with simple, realistic ideas that you can start using right away, even on busy days or when your own energy is low. You can find the link in the episode description. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you next time.